Welcome back to Global Football Icons. Before we dive into this incredible story, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let us know in the comments which player you'd love to see us explore next. This is where we delve deep into the legends, the trailblazers, and the icons who've changed the face of football, and today we're unpacking the fierce, unmistakable career of one Edgar Davids. Edgar Davids, with his iconic dreadlocks, tinted goggles, and relentless energy, wasn't just a player. He was a force of nature. From his aggressive, combative style to his fierce passion on the pitch, Davids embodied a unique blend of technical skill and physicality. He was one of the few players who truly left his heart out there every single game, and his journey is as compelling as his playstyle. Davids was born in Suriname in 1973, but moved to the Netherlands at a young age, a relocation that would shape his destiny as a player. The Netherlands, known for its total football philosophy and world-class youth academies, was where Davids would begin his journey, ultimately becoming one of the most recognizable players of his generation. Despite being surrounded by technically gifted players, Davids stood out from an early age. The streets of Amsterdam became his training ground, teaching him skills that would allow him to navigate the physical intensity of professional football with an edge. As a young talent, Davids joined Ajax, a club renowned for developing football stars. Ajax was the perfect training ground, molding him into a player with a fierce dedication to mastering the game. Ajax's famous youth academy instilled in Davids not just skill but a sense of discipline and tactical awareness that set him apart. But what really distinguished Davids was his drive. He wasn't the tallest or the most powerful player on the field, but he had this tenacity that couldn't be taught. It was this drive that would ultimately define his career. Davids quickly moved up through Ajax's ranks, breaking into the first team in the early 1990s. Playing as a midfielder, he formed part of a generation of players that would dominate Dutch and European football. Davids was instrumental in Ajax's incredible Champions League victory in 1995, a season that established him as one of Europe's most promising young midfielders. Watching Davids play was exhilarating. He was everywhere on the field, breaking up opposition plays, transitioning quickly, and even contributing to attack. A true midfield dynamo. His style was aggressive but calculated, intense yet refined. He could track back with the best of defenders and then switch gears, advancing the ball with a deftness and speed that left opponents scrambling. His reputation grew quickly, and it wasn't long before major European clubs began to take notice. In 1996, he joined AC Milan, where he began the next phase of his career. Though his time at Milan wasn't particularly lengthy, it was during this period that he honed his physical and tactical approach, facing some of the toughest opponents in Italy's Serie A. The Italian league was known for its intense defensive style and tactical discipline, and Davids fit right in, sharpening his ability to break up play, read the game, and control the tempo. However, it wasn't until he moved to Juventus that Davids truly hit his stride. Juventus was where he'd become known as the Pitbull, a nickname that perfectly captured his style and personality on the pitch. With Juve, Davids became an essential figure in one of the most formidable teams in Europe. Juventus was packed with talent, featuring players like Alessandro Del Piero and Zinedine Zidane, and Davids served as the heart of that midfield. His role was to retrieve the ball and distribute it, to cover defensively and support offensively, essentially doing the work of multiple players at once. He brought energy and grit that allowed players like Zidane to flourish creatively, providing the backbone of Juve's midfield. Watching Davids in action was like watching a defensive masterclass in motion. He was always reading the game, always one step ahead, predicting where the ball would go and putting himself in the right place at the right time. And then, of course, there was his unique, eye-catching appearance on the pitch. His trademark tinted goggles were the result of an eye condition, glaucoma, which nearly ended his career. But rather than let it hinder him, Davids turned this obstacle into a defining part of his image. The goggles became iconic, a symbol of his resilience and determination to keep playing at the highest level, no matter the challenges. Davids' time at Juventus was marked by both success and his unyielding spirit. He helped the team win 3 Serie A titles and reach the final of the Champions League. His tenacity, combined with his physicality, earned him a reputation as one of the most feared and respected midfielders in Europe. But beyond his role on the field, He was admired for his leadership, a player who set an example not just with his words, but with his actions. He pushed his teammates to work harder, play smarter, and believe in themselves. With Davids on the field, no ball was ever lost, and every game was a battle to be won. His playing style, a balance of aggression and finesse, influenced a generation of midfielders. Davids inspired players who wanted to dominate the midfield not just through technique, but through sheer willpower. He was a player who wore his heart on his sleeve, showing that football was more than just skill or tactics. It was about passion, sacrifice, and an indomitable spirit. His approach to the game made him an icon not only in the Netherlands but worldwide, celebrated by fans and respected by opponents. In the early 2000s, after his peak years with Juventus, Davids continued to play at some of Europe's top clubs, including stints with Barcelona, Inter Milan, and Tottenham Hotspur. At Barcelona, his arrival marked a turning point for the club during a challenging period. His energy and experience injected life into the team, helping to lay the foundation for the success that would follow in the years to come. Even at Tottenham, in the physically demanding Premier League, Davids demonstrated that he could still compete at the top, providing both grit and wisdom to younger players. Internationally, Davids was a key player for the Netherlands. He represented his country in multiple European Championships and World Cups, bringing his signature intensity to the Dutch national team. His performances for the Netherlands were often electric. He was as tireless in orange as he was in club colors. Fans remember his passionate displays in major tournaments, where he took on some of the world's best players and played with the same unrelenting drive that characterized his club career. Off the pitch, Davids has always been vocal, unafraid to stand up for his beliefs, whether it was about racism in football or the importance of diversity. His commitment to these issues has made him not just a football legend but a respected figure beyond the game. His outspoken nature was sometimes controversial, but it was also part of what made him an icon. He wasn't content to simply play football. He wanted to make an impact on the world around him, using his platform to speak out and support causes he believed in. He held so dear during his career. Hard work, dedication, and an uncompromising will to win. For Edgar Davids, football was never just about the accolades or the fame. It was about playing with heart and inspiring others to do the same. Edgar Davids is a name that will always be remembered in the football world. He wasn't just a player who wore the colors of some of Europe's biggest clubs. He was an embodiment of passion and perseverance. His legacy lives on, not just in the highlights of his incredible tackles or powerful runs, but in the way he played the game, full of intensity, integrity, and a love for the sport that was impossible to miss. So here's to Edgar Davids, the Pitbull, the player who showed us what it means to give everything for the game you love. And remember, if you enjoyed this journey through the life of Edgar Davids, please like and subscribe to Global Football Icons for more deep dives into the legends of football. Don't forget to comment below and tell us which player you'd like to see next.